Good morning, everybody. We just finished up our third boot camp session where we gave everybody a tremendous amount of information on how to communicate with perfect prospects on LinkedIn. Now, for those of you that are not on LinkedIn yet, you need to get over there. LinkedIn offers you the best way ever to connect with professionals seeking a new opportunity. Just by doing a keyword search, and these numbers increase every day. People that are open to a new opportunity, 7.7 million. People looking for a new opportunity, 6.9 million. People seeking a new opportunity, 3.4 million. People that are open to working, 2.8 million. People that are looking for an opportunity, opportunities in the plural, 1.4 million. And people that are just looking for an opportunity, 1 million. Now, on Sunday, we did something that was kind of interesting. And I want to show you how these numbers continue to increase every day. You know, for years, LinkedIn used to say that every second, 2 new LinkedIn profiles are added. Well, if you do the math, if there's 2 new profiles being added every second of every day, then every day there's 172,800 new profiles added. And that means, if you do the math, every week, 1.2 million new profiles are added. And again, if we just follow up and project the numbers, actually the number would be a little under 5 million. But last month, there were 7 million profiles added. So I went in and I did a check to see on Sunday how many new profiles were added the day before, 180,000. The previous week, 1 million. The previous 2 weeks, 4 million. And in what amounts to the first 30 days, if we add them all up, during that period, 3 million. So in 90 days, 3 months, if you add those all up, plus the new ones, 21 million people jumped on LinkedIn. Well, that's 7 million a month. That was on Sunday. Well, I come back on Tuesday. I do it again. And lo and behold, now we're up to 24 million. And I did it yesterday. And we're up to 28 million in 90 days. So there's no shortage of opportunity for you to find people, connect with them, start a conversation, pick out the people that you know in advance need what you have, want what you have. So you never experience rejection, because you're never going to talk to anybody about your business until you know, without a doubt, they need what you have. It's almost like between being a recruiter, where you're looking for specific parameters. You want somebody that is into sales. You want somebody that's into training. You want somebody that's into team building. And it's never been easier to connect with these kinds of people on LinkedIn. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to shift over and I'm going to jump into some accounts and I'm going to demonstrate the process. I also want to remind all of you that last night's session was already recorded and it should be up, hopefully, by the end of today. You'll have the flip book of not just what you saw during our recorded session, but every page that we brought up on the screen. Probably 50% of what I have in that flip book was not covered in the video. I skipped over a bunch. Next Tuesday is the final session, how to close the sale. But if you want to get ahead, then you can come up and watch how to close the sale in our March boot camp. Additionally, we have just opened up registration for our May boot camp. Now, as soon as you jump in to the May boot camp, as soon as you register, let's come over here and see. Hopefully, they got it up. As soon as you register for the May boot camp, you've got our updated profile checklist, the texting, scripts, how to connect with whales. You come down here, and you're going to have the entire recorded boot camp session for this month, April. This one's not going to be loaded up until Tuesday. And you'll be ready to jump in on May the 6th when we start boot camp. Now, let's start up at the top. Well, actually, let me jump into Debbie's account first. And by the way, come over to my message area. I changed my birthday on my LinkedIn profile. And I'm blown away by the people who have, sent me a birthday note. As a matter of fact, I've heard from some old friends that I haven't talked to in years. This is an opportunity to reconnect with folks. So I'm going to log out of my account. We're going to jump into Debbie's. And Debbie is talking to Heather. All right, so we're going to pop over here to the message area. So let's pop down here to see the last answer that you loved. Now, boy, you got it like this. So what we did here was, let me unmute Debbie.
Good morning.
Good morning. All right, so Heather is maximizing the human potential, and she is, what does she do? She's in the...
It's actually in the Air Force.
Okay. Well, I got to tell you, so you reached out to her, and this is, you guys really hit it off.
We did.
And so she's in the Air Force. And so you asked her, she loved this question. On the surface, this may seem like an oxymoron. Your banner says creativity takes courage, and you're a professor aerospace science. Would love to hear how they connect. So not only she loved it, look how much she wrote. Says no one's ever asked me that question. So, would you consider yourself a creative person? I do. So now look at all the information she's given you. HR. And then she asks you about your profile. Chief Fun Officer. Sounds like an interesting role. What's that all about? Okay, so like the founder of my company, I wear many hats. My favorite role is mentoring. Like the founder of any company, my favorite role is mentoring and working with the people in my business. So that's where the title originated. And for those of you, the motivational quote, when your vocation becomes your vacation, you never work another day in your life, describes me completely what my days are like. I'm going to save this because I couldn't have done better myself.
Well, you did it.
Oh, is that right? Okay. Okay. Employee law sounds very important. I have not heard of strategic HR. Would you agree that most are So what do you like? What do you like about what you do? So she says, I love the quote. Use it often. And so I love HR. Maximizing the human potential. I'm such an HR. I guess she meant to say nerd.
Right.
Okay, nerd. Yeah, here she is. Okay. So now you wrote this. In the past, I've had hundreds of employees. I'm really big on helping people and become the next best version. So then you ask her, tell me more. So she comes back. She really appreciates your energy. And she goes on, and people write about themselves. They give you so much information, and your next question, the next comment that you're going to make is going to come out of this big answer. And then she writes, so I'm curious to learn more about your experience. What happened to all your employees? Did you sell your companies? Do you think this point of view is valuable? So you give her a little bit of your story. CNN even did a story. I believe that. Save that for another time. So now she comes back and she says, Debbie, is there anything I can help you with for the next adventure? But please let me know. Sure you can. You sign up in my business and give me your American Express card number and let's get you going. So I've enjoyed our conversation. So Monday, now just remember this. See, every Monday you can start or restart a conversation just by saying, hey, happy Monday. I hope you had a nice weekend. What are your plans for the week? Like today, you could start a conversation with anybody by saying, I hope you had a great week. What are your plans for the weekend? Because you just want to get a response so you can start the conversation again. So I've enjoyed our conversations as well. And so here, I owned a number of successful companies. When I started an internet business, I had no idea that COVID was coming. So when it hit last year, my business has really taken off. So many people want to make money from home. Now, you're multifaceted because we find out she's also into fitness, health, and wellness. So you ask her, are you still involved in all of that? And she says, yeah. Now, when you tell someone, now you want to talk about predictable responses. When you ask somebody what they do, they're going to come back and ask you what you do. Okay, if you live in the same city and you ask them, well, how long have you lived there? They're going to tell you, and then they're going to come back and ask you how long you've lived there. It's predictable. Okay, so let's come down here. So it says, what kind of an internet business did you start? And so this was in our coaching. session on Thursday.
Right.
Okay. Did I do this or did you do this?
You did this.
I was going to say great job. But you would have said it. There's nothing here that not only wouldn't you say, but now in the future, you've got a whole strategy for chief fun officer. And I can't believe how much we seem to have in common. We both share similar interests and experiences. In many ways, I do many of the things that you do. So it's no wonder that LinkedIn somehow matched us up. Whoa. My internet business is in the health and wellness space, and I work with people all around North America without having to leave my home. And then we always end with a question. What are you currently doing for work? The most important question when you're talking to somebody, and I'm going to put this in the chat window, the most important thing that you're going to learn about anybody, what do they do? So she says, please expand on this. I'm very interested. Right now I'm teaching leadership to future Air Force officers, recruiting high potential young people to get started in the program. I'm in the Air Force Reserve, but I'm on active duty orders for 1 more year. Next summer, I'll go back to the reserves. Then I'll be on the hunt for my next adventure. Now, I'm in the reserves. Now, an interesting question comes up here because, frankly, you look at this and you might say, well, in a year, she'll be ready. But maybe she'd like to make some extra money. Maybe she'd like to get started. The question comes up to, I'm on active duty. Now, there are a lot of folks in the military that while they're on active duty are also starting to generate a side business. So what we could do is, we know enough about her, you know enough about her, where if we wanted to transition over to maybe having her look more at the business because she's interested in what you're doing, we're not going to be salesy, but we could say, Heather, many of the military many of them, basically what we want to say is many of the professionals, here we go, many of the professionals that I work with on LinkedIn that are currently serving in the military have started to generate a side income working with me on the internet and plan to go full time with it when they transition out of the service. So you're using what you've learned about her, and then would you be interested in learning what they're doing or how they're doing it? So we're taking that transition line, we're using the information that you have, and did you get that?
Yeah, I'm writing quickly.
Okay, because don't ask me to say it again.
Right.
But if you want, write it up, send it over to me, and we'll tweak it a little bit, make sure you got it right, and send it back. We're just making the offer. Right now, there's no need. There's an interest. And we want to keep the interest going. And when she comes back and says, yeah, tell me more about it, I'd really like to know, then we're going to go a little deeper, and we're going to say, hey, listen, I'd be delighted to tell you all about it, because with your background in fitness and all this other stuff, it's such a perfect fit. The synergy between us amazes me. What do you know about network marketing? What do you know about the business model of network marketing? Now, I know some of you are afraid of asking that question, but when you start looking at some of the closing ratios that we've been throwing up on the screen, 50%, 60%, it's because you're asking the question. If you want to know why, you're having a conversation with somebody, you show them the business, you never talk about the fact that it is a network marketing opportunity, and you wonder why they don't look at the video and they don't write back, and some of them even unfriend you. It's because you haven't asked the question. So, before you start to talk about your business, here's a suggestion. Imagine that it's going to cost you $50 to share a link with somebody to look at your business. You are going to be very selective about who you share that information with, or you're going to go out of business. Especially if you're following that old prehistoric business model of you got to go through 100 no's to get a yes. Wow, 100 no's.
That's no fun.
Well, yeah, but look at it another way.
No, this is much better.
Yeah.
This is fun.
That's $5,000. 150 times 100 is $5,000. So you're right. This is fun. It's easy. And the best part about it is, and I don't care who you are, and I don't care how well connected you are, there is no other way for you to connect with so many incredible people, so many wonderful people than doing it this way. You have boundless opportunities. You want to build your business in Australia? Boom, it's here. You want to build your business in Paris? It's here. And like Debbie says, it's fun. It's fun when you're talking to people like this. All right? Great job. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Great. And folks, see, this is how we come up with these scripts. Okay? This is how we come up with these approaches and these answers, because working in the trenches with my coaching students and with people in boot camp, and I wish more of you, let's come over here and let's go into Martin. Now, Martin is in the UK. And so in our last session, Ruth responded. Let me unmute Martin.
Hi, Max.
Yeah, hi, good afternoon.
Yes, thanks. Good morning to you.
Yeah, thank you. It's so Ruth is a pro marketer, lifestyle educator.
No, don't bother looking at Oz.
Oh, I'm sorry. How did I get to there? Oh, here it is.
There you go.
Ruth.
You sent her an image
Okay, let's see.
yesterday, I think it was.
Okay, right. Okay, so this is the woman that doesn't know very much about social media, because her profile, all it shows, and you can get a general idea if you look up at the top of her URL. So she hasn't done anything with that. And then if we look at the rest of her profile, all she talks about is she's a qualified distributor at Utility Warehouse, and she was a network marketer in Valentus for 10 months. That's all you got.
Yeah.
Okay? And so anybody that has a profile like this, it's in a network marketing company, you know, it's certainly a good bet that however they're building their business, they're not doing it on LinkedIn. So, I'm starting to see, maybe it wasn't such a bad idea that you did this. I think somebody sent, I think it was James, was writing to somebody, and he gets a nasty email from her husband. Don't you ever write?
anybody to get the wrong idea, would we?
No, right. Well, one way to do that, and if you find that that's happening a lot, okay, then what you do is put your wife in the picture. You're a couple, and then it's kind of like, you don't have to deal with it, and it becomes another part of the conversation, because truthfully, on LinkedIn, you're really just supposed to have a picture of you. Okay? But I got a picture of my wife because, I don't want anybody to misunderstand. Okay, so this is kind of interesting because this is what network marketers are doing. All right? So Martin reached out to her, and how is your utility warehouse business going? You're obviously passionate about people struggling, as I am. What got you into it? So she writes back, it's going well, always cared about helping people. Originally, I did healthcare worked with children, lots of other jobs. This is a variation that I feel helping people can save money. So I help people save money. Now, remember what we said? Every answer that you get has the seeds to your next question. On her profile, all she's got is her network marketing activity. So she says here, I've done healthcare. What kind of healthcare work have you done? What did that entail? I work with children. How did you work with children? What did that involve? Plus lots of other jobs. Well, what were those other jobs? Okay, so now we come back. I think it's great. Your approach is trying to make a difference. It's a passionate for me too. Sure, you're busy, but I think you'd be great in my business. Would you be open?
That was premature. I understand that now.
That was what?
That was premature, I think, for me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. Okay. All right. So, but you see it. Okay.
Yeah.
So now, and then are you doing it full time? Now, what you can do the next time, if you ever do anything like this, and you wanted to, take it back. Okay? What you do is we copy this. Copy that. And I'm going to send it to me. Oh, here it is. Okay? So what you do is we pop up here. We go to the place on your computer where you save these images, and you use the one where you're slapping yourself in the head. All right? And then we come back over to the book. And it's the one where it says how to retract a message you regret sending. Whoops. All right? So then you just copy this. And then we come back. I can't believe I sent you that last message. Please ignore it because it was meant for another person. I was talking to 5 other people at the same time. I sent the message meant for you to someone else, and you got theirs. And then the message I wrote to you is, you put it in. And it literally gives you an opportunity to retract the whole thing, to kind of take it all back. But, it's kind of like, but it makes people curious. It's kind of like, when a lawyer in a courtroom asks a question, they know completely is out of bounds. And the judge says the jury's going to disregard it. Well, they may disregard it as far as making a decision, but they heard it. So let's see. So you wrote back. Okay, so what you did here, what other network marketing? So we asked, how long have you been involved in network marketing? 1 year and 4 months. We don't want to discuss the business. What other network marketing companies have you worked with? And she's started not seriously with Body Shop. Valentus was the one where personal development started, Utility Warehouse, and Newtonic X. So we sent her a message. The beauty belongs to those who believe in the beauty of the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. And we said, I sent this to a friend and thought you'd appreciate it too. Hope you're having a good week. I meant to ask you earlier, what else are you currently doing for work to earn a living? And she says, I love the quote. Utility Warehouse is my main job. Now, I'm waiting on a product company to launch, but we'll only do product side, not team building. A friend of mine is a mortgage advisor and is going to train me to do administrative work for her. Still happy to have a Zoom chat. Okay, now, something here just, Utility Warehouse is my main job.
I can't believe she's making a living.
Exactly, because if she was making, if she was making money with Utility Warehouse, then why would she be waiting to start a product company to launch, but only do the product side, not team building? And why are you going to take a job in administrative work for a friend? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Okay? So, so you have to, so in the scheme of things, on a scale from 1 to 10, she's probably a -2. Okay? She's not really a candidate for your business. Now, you could pursue the conversation, say, Utility Warehouse is my main day job. Okay? Well, what other jobs do you have? Do you have a night job? You don't want to come across as an interrogator. So, you're trying to be helpful. And so what? Okay?
It is interesting to see how you score that like that. I think a lot of people would have that problem. They're like, well, do I pursue this? Do I drop it? What do I do?
Well, here's what we could do, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to go over here and let's go to a GIF, moving image. And actually, I don't think they've got, let's see, maybe they have it. Emoji, HUH, huh?
We spoke about using her as a minnow maybe to catch a whale.
That's right. That's right.
There might be an upline that we could get on board.
Well, right, exactly. So we don't have here what we're looking for, okay? So we gave you all a link to download a bunch of these. So you save them on your computer. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to pull up this one. Huh? All right? And then we're going to go. I'm confused. I'm confused. What am I missing? Or okay. So the question, I'm confused. So let's take a look at what she says. Okay. Of course, okay. So let's put it in here. I'm confused. And we could say most of the people. Now notice it's a different color. It's a lighter gray. It's lighter, which means we pasted some text in there, and if we send this, she's not going to get the stuff in gray. So we're going to write it first. I'm confused. Most of the people that I meet on LinkedIn that are in network marketing and working their business full-time. Time work with one company. It's next to impossible to build two companies at the same time. Okay? So, now,
Is there a problem there? Because I'm trying to get her to join my company, and that kind of implies you're going to have to drop what you're doing to come and do what I'm doing.
well, no. What we're saying is, okay, I can see where that could be an issue, so we don't have to say that. But the truth is, you know, when you ask somebody what do they do, and let's say they're making $50 a week in a network marketing business, $100 a week, but they've got a full-time job working as an administrative assistant, and they're making $500 a week. So if you want to describe people when they describe what they do, the main source of their income is what they do. Okay, if you were making $1,000 as a coach and you were making $50 in your network marketing business a week, hey, you're a coach building a network marketing business. So,
This is a husband in the background providing the salary and making the living.
Exactly. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So we want to find out how she supports herself. Well, clearly she's not supporting herself doing this. So she says, UW is my day job. Okay, so let's pop that out.
I know people in UW, and I think you have to have hundreds and hundreds of people in your network to even make a living.
Okay, right. So, from what I understand about UW, whoops, it requires hundreds of people to make a living. Okay, so what we could say is, well, she says she's going to launch another company to do the products, so that's okay. Now, if you're doing well in UW, why are you looking to get, or why are you looking, again, we could use their word, why are you looking to get trained to do administrative work?
Perfect.
Okay.
I must say, Max, the more I learn from you, the more I'm enjoying this, the more fun I'm having.
Well, you know, see, the thing is, what you want to do is you want to come up with the question first. Okay? You come up with the question first, and then you kind of back it. You know, this is one of those things where, so let's, now, just to make sure, so if you're doing well in UW, why are you looking to get trained to do administrative work? Okay? So now we're going to erase this. Come on. We're going to erase this. And then, just to make sure, we're going to copy this, clean the screen, and then pop it back. And we'll get rid of that space. All right?
Yes.
All right. But again, you know, you've got lots of other choices of people to work with. But, you know, you've got her number. Let's go take a look at, where is he? Todd. Now, once you come up with a script, then you can use it over and over again. Okay, well, Todd had to jump off, but he says he's got a hard stop at 10. He'll jump on at 1. He says, you're not going to like the conversation I showed you as I didn't follow the scripts. So let this be an education for everybody. And we'll be ready for Todd at 1 o'clock. And, okay, so let's come to Todd. Okay, I've already got him in the thing, so let's see, maybe that'll work. Okay, so we changed the password. Pop it in there. And I guess he gave me the wrong. Oh, wait a minute. All right. Well, we'll take a look at it. We'll take a look at it this afternoon. Let's see. We got time for one more. Let's go over here and look at Lori. Okay, so Lori's got two. One, she wants to restart a conversation with Amanda, and she's talking to Richard. So on a daily basis, I mean, let's just look down here on the right. We want to be starting new conversations. So I love the way this is the first message. This is another first message. So she's got, well, this was yesterday, okay? So you can see the first messages. You know, these people have accepted you. Now we're going to go back. We're going to hit these people with the icebreaker. So she gets up in the morning, and that's going to be interesting. An interesting conversation you're going to have with Sandy. All right, so let's go over here to the messages. So let's look at Amanda. And this is Amanda Carter. Experienced, energetic, successful leader who prides herself on honesty. And okay, let me unmute Lori. I think I remember her. Morning, Lori.
Good morning.
This-
Yes,
yeah,
you do.
This,
You did help me.
yeah, this is the one where she has an opportunity to work in Alabama or something, and she doesn't want to go because.
Correct.
Okay, all right. So.
She didn't reply, and I didn't know where to go from there.
Okay, all right. Okay, so she says, I could be a warehouse manager in Medline. It's a great opportunity, but moving is the scariest part, being away from my aging and not doing so well parents. So why is moving scary? I've never been on my own. But hell, I handled a home with some repairs of my dog for several years. I'm sure I can handle moving. Just never done it alone before. Plus, not sure Alabama will accept a Gator fan. Okay. I have to tell you, over the years, I've actually worked with people that were looking to move, okay? And today, thanks to the internet, you could move to a whole new city. And let's say you're going to move in 90 days. You could already have a half a dozen friends in that city. So we asked her, what's your salary range? Who knows, maybe starting is a bad thing. So so we asked her about her job. She's not telling you. Okay? And so now you don't know what's going on in her life. But she said, I'm not working at the moment, but may have something in Alabama. Well, may have something in Alabama doesn't mean it's a confirmed job. People, hey man, I may have a job in Alabama. And then she takes the job, she moves to Alabama, and she goes, oh my God, did I make a mistake? Okay? So she may have it. Now, she's been out of work since March. Hey, she's been out of work 6 weeks. Actually, not even 6 weeks. Yeah. So she's only been out of work a very short time. So financially, it's not, there's no stress. All right? Maybe, did she tell us why she lost her job?
Yeah, I think she was Christopher and Banks.
What do you do for work? I'm not working at the moment. Okay, so, see, this is why. So, experienced energetic leader. And we come down here. No, she wasn't working for Christopher Banks. She was working for a bakery, or a baker. Okay, and so she stopped working in March, and so she's only been out of work a short period of time. Now, one of the questions that when you're talking to somebody that's looking for a job, obviously the question is, why are you looking for a job? Well, she's looking for a job because she lost her last job. So, okay, so why did she leave that job? So we want to get the conversation back on track. We're trying to identify what her problems are. And, when you're talking to somebody about something that interests them, they answer you. When you ask a question that they don't want to talk about, they don't answer. Okay? Then you don't sit and wait for the next one. So maybe Is the pay what salary range? She didn't want to tell you. Okay, so the pay is worth it, and they pay relocation. Who knows? Maybe starting over isn't such a bad thing. Okay, so what did you do at your last job? And what? So this was a good question, but she never answered you. And so again, so what would be the next question that you would want to ask her?
Why did you leave your last job?
Well, that that could be that's one possibility. Okay, but maybe she doesn't. She might not want to talk. When you want to start a conversation up again, you're trying to get their attention. You want to ask them a question that they absolutely would be interested in answering. All right, so let's come back up here a little bit. And so where is it? I'm not working at the moment, but may have something in Alabama. Now, when was this? This was last Saturday. Okay, so she's telling you she may have something in Alabama. So an easy question to ask her is, when is she going to hear about getting the job? When are you going to know if you got the job in Alabama? Now that's easy. And the thing is, typically we want to ask open-ended questions where they give you details, but just to get the ball rolling, you want to make it real easy for the person to respond. So it's okay to ask a question that can be answered with a yes or no. Like, have you heard about the job in Alabama? That could be a yes or a no. Or we could say, have you heard? Or we could say, what have you heard about the job in Alabama? And that's not a yes. It's an open-ended question. Open-ended questions start with who, what, when, where, how, and why. Did you get the job? Yes or no. What have you heard about getting the job in Alabama? You're getting information. You're looking for information now. So let's come down here and difficult roads. Okay. So, and we send her this. So let's send her something a little bit more on a positive note. And the easiest way to get it, I'm thinking about the one about living the life of your dreams. So we can come over here to get it really quick. Go on Google. Actually, no. Got an easier way. So I'm gonna come back over here and I'm gonna pull up the Okay, so this was the PowerPoint from last night's boot camp. And I believe if we come down here, I gave everybody No, I did it. I gave you the images in the previous, in the second session of boot camp. So let me bring that up really quick. So this becomes a resource for you. All right? And you're going to use these same images over and over again. So let's come down here to the images. It was further down. Remember, some of this stuff we covered, a lot of it we didn't, but you got everything. Okay. So what we're looking for is the one that says the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. So we're going to copy this one. And then we're going to come back.
Call from 78643486335.
All right. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come over here. When did we send this? This was Monday. So first we'll say, I hope you're having a great week. Hope you're having a great week. I sent this to a few friends and thought that you would enjoy it too. Now, what you do is you copy this, okay? You just copy the text, okay? So first we send this. Then we paste in the message, the image. And then we come back with, let's ask an open-ended question, yes or no. Have you heard if you got the job in Alabama yet? So all she has to do is type yes or no. You make it easy, okay? Make it easy. You want to restart the conversation, you have to ask them a question that touches on their hot button. All right? Okay, let's take a look at Richard really quick, see if we can. Now, are you beginning, Lori, to notice the pattern?
Oh yeah, you're my confirmation on some of the pattern I think I'm supposed to do.
Well, right, and pretty soon, you know, I mean, you're picking good people. So let's look at Richard. Honestly, I cannot say that with any certainty. Two possibilities. Okay, so you're talking to somebody that so I guess the question we want to know about this guy is, if we look, he's been out of work. Well, not really. Director of technology. So he's been out of work. He's only been out of work for 60 days. And job search is going nowhere. 7 weeks and not so much as a phone call. Paid time. Okay. Rewrote his resume. Okay. Well, basically, without digging into a lot of details, as a result of COVID, a lot of companies have closed. There is a glut. There's an overwhelming amount of professionals looking for every position. Okay? Companies are in the driver's seat. Companies, for example, that closed and then reopened, many of them furloughed their employees. And when they bring them back, they say, I got good news and I got bad news. The good news is we're bringing you back. The bad news is, because we're ramping up again, we're only going to be able to pay you 50% of what we paid you before. Now you either take it or leave it, go out and try to find another job. The challenge is there's 50 people applying for the same job that you're applying for, and Richard, I hate to tell you this, I really hate to be the bearer of, okay, well, you see what I mean?
Got it.
You see what I mean?
Yep, yep.
You ask a
So don't address the actual objections directly, just come back with general.
well, you have to, the lesson here is you have to send them a message and ask them a question that, okay? You got to ask them a question that is of interest to them so that they're going to want to come back and talk to you. When you're asking questions that they're not interested in talking about, they don't respond. But as soon as you pull the trigger, look at what she's telling you. Now, as far as Richard is concerned, let's come down here a little bit. And activity, experience. Let's see if he gives us education. Maybe he gave us high school. Well, we don't have high school, but he went to college in 1979 to 1980. Let's assume that he graduated from high school in 1978. 2021, 1978. So he graduated from high school 43 years ago. So we take 43 plus 17, which would be how old when he's 60 years old. Mm-hmm. He's 60 years old. So, Richard, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but there are younger people out there applying for your job that will work for half of what you're willing to get. So maybe we need to think about jumping into another field. So if you can't, so the question is, if you can't get a job in your chosen field, that's where these new questions come in. What do you like doing? What are you good at? What other type of fields could you move into? And there you might have someone that could be interested in your business. However, remember, he hasn't been out of work for a very short period of time. All right, now we're going to be back, like I said, at 1 o'clock. For those of you that are in boot camp, don't sit back and watch. All right? Engage. Get involved. Send me your profiles. Send me the conversations you want to have, because every one of you, anybody can do this. Ask yourself this question: is there anything that I did that you couldn't do? And the answer is no. So, until next time, best of luck in building your business, and God bless.